Good afternoon, and thank you all so much for joining us to celebrate the successes of the Greek community at this year's Reimagined Greek Excellence Awards. As the executive director of the Greek Programming Board, it has been an incredible honor to see all of the amazing things that our Greek community is doing. From service events to educational opportunities, Greek life has so much to offer for its members, for the university, and for the world around them as a whole. Before we start, I just want to take a moment to thank all of our Greek chapters. This year has been incredibly challenging, but the UA Greek community has continued to thrive amidst a pandemic. Today, we have the opportunity to celebrate some of the highlights of this hard work. Without any further ado, please welcome our host, Tamron Williams.
Good evening. My name is Tamron Williams, and I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I serve as the president of the National Panhellenic Council. I am so excited to be here this afternoon and celebrate the hard work of the Greek community. With that, let's get started. The Dr. Judith L. Bonner Academic Excellence Scholarship recognizes an outstanding Panhellenic woman based on GPA, rigor of course study, and extraordinary scholarly or creative endeavors. To be eligible, an applicant must have a total of 60 credit hours and a 3.5 GPA, as well as demonstrate outstanding leadership ability and significant contribution to the UA and Greek community. The 2020 recipient of the Dr. Judith L. Bonner Academic Excellence Scholarship is Cassandra Minnie, a member of Delta Gamma. The Dr. Kathleen Powers Kramer Leadership and Involvement Scholarship recognizes a Panhellenic woman in good standing with her organization who has maintained a 3.0 GPA and demonstrated outstanding leadership ability. The 2020 recipient of the Dr. Kathleen Powers Kramer Leadership and Involvement Scholarship is Sydney Booth, a member of Phi Mu. The Sandy Kirby Witt UA Away Scholarship is awarded annually to a Panhellenic woman in good standing with her organization interested in participating in a work, study, or volunteer program in another country, city, or university. The 2020 recipient of the Sandy Kirby Witt UA Away Scholarship is Catherine Rathke, a member of Delta Zeta. Congratulations again to all of the endowed scholarship and award winners. The Alabama United Greek Council would like to recognize a few individual award recipients. The outstanding UGC Executive Board member is Sav Campbell, who served as the United Greek Council President. Outstanding UGC President is Jessica Hellwig of Alpha Omega Epsilon. Congratulations to these UGC Award winners. At this time, the Alabama Interfraternity Council would like to recognize a few individual award recipients. Outstanding IFC President is Baylor Bearden of Sigma Nu. Outstanding IFC New Member Educator is Rollins Chapp of Delta Kappa Epsilon. And the IFC Man of the Year is William Gray of Alpha Tau Omega. Congratulations to these incredible members of the Interfraternity Council. The Alabama National Panhellenic Council would like to recognize a few individual award recipients. Outstanding NPHC Executive Board member is Jalen Bonner, who served as Director of External Affairs. Outstanding NPHC President is Iana Diaz of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. The Alabama Panhellenic Association would like to recognize a few individual award recipients. Outstanding Panhellenic Executive Board member is Colleen Borean, Director of Judicial Affairs. Outstanding Panhellenic Delegate is Madison Docks of Alpha Chi Omega. Outstanding Panhellenic President is Elle McMillan of Kappa Kappa Gamma. And the Outstanding Panhellenic Recruitment Director is Anna Russell of Kappa Alpha Theta. Congratulations to these members of the Alabama Panhellenic Association. Next is the presentation of the Dr. Sarah L. Healy Panhellenic Achievement Award. Sarah L. Healy was Dean of Women at the University of Alabama from 1954 to 1971. Dean Healy was one of the few female senior administrators in her era, and she was a strong advocate for Greek life and its impact on student leadership development. A quiet but tenacious administrator, Dean Healy had a lasting impact on sorority life at the Capstone through her pivotal role in the creation of Sorority Row. The Sarah L. Healy Panhellenic Achievement Award was created in 2009 to honor the president of the Alabama Panhellenic Association for her commitment and dedication to the Panhellenic community and Greek life at Alabama. Tonight, we recognize and thank Maggie McPherson, former Alabama Panhellenic Association president and a member of Kappa Kappa Gamma. The Greek ambassadors are a group of students selected to serve as official ambassadors for the Greek community at the University of Alabama. Representing all four councils at UA, Greek ambassadors provide prospective students with insight into the Greek community. Outstanding Greek ambassadors of the year are Paige Risley of Kappa Delta and Pedro Reyes of Sigma Alpha Mu. It is with great pleasure that we recognize those individuals and campus partners that have contributed to the success and growth of Greek life at the University of Alabama. Without their service and continued support, we would not be here celebrating the highlighted achievements of the UA fraternities and sororities. The role of chapter advisor is a vital position for any Greek organization. Chapters could not reach their full potential if it was not for the dedicated service of their advisors. The Most Outstanding Advisor Award recognizes one advisor whose commitment and support have translated into success and growth for their chapter. It is a great pleasure to recognize tonight's outstanding chapter advisors. For the National Panhellenic Council, Robbie Washington of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. For the United Greek Council, David Albright of Eta Omega Pi. And for the Alabama Panhellenic Association, Gailey Thomas of Alpha Delta Pi. In 2017, the Interfraternity Council renamed the IFC Advisor of the Year Award in honor and memory of Amos D. Burns, a 1949 initiate of Alpha Tau Omega, who through his many years of service to the chapter truly exemplified what it means to be a dedicated advisor. Mr. Burns offered over 5 decades of devotion and long-term service to ATO. His impact is evident in the many lives he touched and memories that are shared among chapter members. The Amos D. Burns Most Outstanding IFC Advisor of the Year, Mark Robbins of Phi Kappa Psi. Given the impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has had on our lives, we would like to take this time to honor Greek chapters that have continued to excel during this time. Please note that Greek Programming Board has selected and summarized one accomplishment for each chapter that submitted a response. We will be sharing full descriptions of accomplishments for each chapter at a later date and time. Alpha Chi Omega held a virtual 5K to benefit Turning Point Tuscaloosa and was able to raise $18,000 for the organization. Alpha Delta Pi held the Raise for Ronald Philanthropy Week with a mix of virtual and in-person events. These events included making cards for the children at Ronald McDonald House Charities and delivering pre-packaged dinner and cards to RMHC. Also, Alpha Delta Pi concluded the week with a run across campus and virtually that raised over $7,000 for the Ronald McDonald House. Evan Rosenthal, a member of Alpha Epsilon Pi, was elected as AE Pi National Cabinet Vice President. This position oversees all 170 chapters and colonies of Alpha Epsilon Pi across 6 countries and specifically handles membership issues. The members of Alpha Gamma Delta coordinated a food recovery drive during the last day of the semester. They worked with the West Alabama Food Bank and several sororities and fraternities on campus to collect non-perishables from these Greek organizations. The Theta Sigma chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated celebrated our nation's historically Black colleges and universities by hosting a week-long Ivy Classic HBCU Week, including events highlighting the HBCU experience, culture, academic potential for professional development. The chapter was able to raise over $2,000 that went towards Alpha Kappa Alpha's HBCU Impact Day. Last semester, Alpha Omicron Pi introduced a COVID-19 committee to help educate and help sisters. They created an AOPI Uber Eats program for sisters affected by COVID-19 and were able to deliver 474 meals. For the 2020 Tuscaloosa Heart Walk, Alpha Phi was the top fundraiser and raised $21,733 for the American Heart Association. The chapter also had the largest number of people registered for a team. Alpha Phi was also able to host a spring 2020 and fall 2020 blood drive with Sigma Nu. This is known as the largest blood drive in the state of Alabama each year. The Kappa Alpha chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated had 2 members elected to leadership positions at the capstone. DeMarcus Joyner was elected SGA president, and Jordan Smith was elected president of the National Panhellenic Council. The Brotherhood of Alpha Sigma Phi helped deliver meals to elementary schools and other locations, assisting West Alabama Food Bank's operations, as well as donated 25 pounds of canned food to West Alabama Food Bank. The Beta Delta chapter of Alpha Tau Omega hosted the first inaugural ALS Open on November 16, 2020 at Greystone Golf and Country Club in Birmingham, Alabama. They were able to raise roughly $71,000 for K2 Adventures Foundation and their extensive ALS resources. Chi Omega raised $12,384 for Make-A-Wish Foundation during 2020. They also received the highest GPA in Gulf Coast region awarded at Fireside's Leadership Training Spring 2020. This year, Delta 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 was recognized in the top 10 for fundraising for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. In fall 2020, Delta Gamma introduced Anchor Mentors, which allowed alumni and collegians to sign up to be a mentor to younger members of the chapter. This program gives the members support in their academic and professional endeavors. The Lambda Zeta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated received the Collegiate Award for Physical and Mental Health. The chapter hosted Healthy Hearts mini-week lasting over a span of 3 days, which included a high-intensity workout class, a red carpet gala, and ended with service at the annual Tuscaloosa Heart Walk. Through proceeds earned from gala ticket sales, the Lambda Zeta chapter raised over $800 for the American Heart Association. For the 15th year in a row, Delta Zeta has partnered with Tuscaloosa One Place. Through this organization, Delta Zeta adopted 25 families to provide them with a Christmas they may not be able to provide for their family on their own. Due to COVID-19, the chapter adjusted to help the families by doing a Christmas packing party for members at their house. Delta Zeta was able to celebrate and promote their work with the center by being on WVUA 23 Spirit of Alabama segment. During the spring 2020 semester, the Gamma Phi Beta sorority raised over $4,000 for their philanthropic partner, Girls on the Run. The Delta Omicron chapter of Kappa Alpha Theta raised over $18,000 for their philanthropy, CASA, in spring 2020. Beginning in the fall 2020 semester, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated coordinated a supply drive and donation to the BSLC initiative to properly prepare the youth of Tuscaloosa for their school year. For the past year, Kappa Delta picked different alumni to be featured on the Instagram, where they shared their current profession, how KD helped them, and where they are living now. Members were also allowed to reach out to any alumni with future career questions. This platform helped current members get connected with various networking opportunities through Kappa Delta. This past semester, Kappa Kappa Gamma implemented a COVID-19 chair and committee who worked with the House Board, House Director, and House Chair to implement a strategy for meal delivery to members. This COVID-19 chair and committee helped organize the dining room by blocking seating, putting social distancing stickers on the floor, and so much more. This year, the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated won the International Chapter of the Year. Phi Mu offered members opportunities for professional development and success in their future careers by partnering with the Career Center to provide a resume workshop, mock interview prep, and headshots. The Vice President of Chapter Development and Committees created a forum for members to provide information and feedback on previous interviews to help prepare other members looking to apply in the future. Sigma Alpha Mu was able to prevent the Brotherhood from contracting a single case of COVID-19 for the entire year. Sigma Chi President Jay Nielsen led the chapter through unique challenges. He handled a risk management issue, worked with national headquarters to lower chapter dues by 70%, and provided stability to focus on academics and COVID-19 protocols. Sigma Delta Tau had 4 members acknowledged by the Sigma Delta Tau Order of the Lapis Honor Society for academic achievements. Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated exhibited outstanding academic excellence this past year. Out of 13 chapter members, over half made the president's list or dean's list. Sigma Nu won its second consecutive Rock Chapter Award, which is awarded to the top chapters around the country. Sigma Tau Gamma hosted its first ever Riding for Gold 24-hour bike-a-thon on the quad. The chapter promoted the UA Special Olympics program and raised $4,125 in one day. Theta Chi was awarded the James M. Holland Award, which is given to the top 3 chapters nationwide for excellence in recruitment. Zeta Beta Tau's member Zach Katz won the Main Heifer Award, Most Outstanding Chapter President, presented at the 2020 Zeta Beta Tau International Virtual Convention, and was also recognized in the spring as the Outstanding Chapter President by the University of Alabama IFC. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated teamed up with the members of Alpha Phi Alpha, Sigma Gamma Rho, and the Collegiate 100 to host a forum about sickle cell awareness during Sickle Cell Awareness Month. This forum was in memory of Erica Murray's father, who passed in July 2020 and was a pioneer in research to cure sickle cell. Zeta Tau Alpha raised over $3,000 for the Zeta Tau Alpha Foundation. Their most successful fundraising event was the Barbecue for Breast Cancer event that took place this past semester.
Congratulations again to all of the chapters and members that were honored today. We are so excited for the upcoming year and seeing everything that the Greek community will accomplish. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope you all can make it again next year.